Several weeks ago, I talked about the property recession that we're going to see in the near future. If you haven't seen that video, then go down to the description box below, guys. I've left a link there for you guys to watch it. In that video, I also mentioned why you need to get started investing during downwards markets. It's one of the best times to start buying properties because you know you're going to buy the property for really relatively cheap prices, guys. But what I didn't talk about in that video was investment strategies. What are the best property strategies to actually utilize during a property recession? That's why I presented this video for you guys. I've got 3 property strategies that I think are going to especially make a lot of money for you during property recession times like these ones that we're in. But first, let me welcome you guys to my DSLM Finance channel. I've been a property investor for about 3 years now, guys, and a stock market investor for even longer. And the main aim for this channel is to reach as many people as I can reach and pass on as much knowledge as I can pass on. If you guys like my content and what I represent, then you know what you have to do. Tell YouTube about it, guys. Leave a like down below, share this video, and subscribe with notification bell on too. Now, my first property strategy that you guys need to utilize during property recession times like these has to be the BRRR method, the BRRR method as they like to call it. This is where you buy undervalued property, typically via a mortgage process. So really and truly, you're only raising money for the stamp duty and the deposit, with the mortgage paying for the rest of the property. And what you're doing is you're buying an undervalued property, guys. So this normally involves a property that's in need of fixing and repairing, so that when you actually do refurbish the property, after adding that initial investment amount, you're able to do it to such a stage that it's now rentable. And because you've added so much value to that property, guys, you're able to refinance so much out of that property to such a stage that it covers your stamp duty, your deposit, and your investment. So you're able to get your money back. And really, what I love the most about this type of strategy is the cyclical nature of it, guys. You're able to really build up a big, massive portfolio in a relatively quick amount of time, and also with a relatively small amount of money too. But what I love even more about this method is the potential to use it during a property recession, guys. You see, you're already utilizing the fact that you're buying cheap properties, but now you're buying cheap properties during a downwards market. The potential to pick up even bigger bargains just increases several times over. And even if you plan it really well, guys, you can end up refinancing more money out than what you even put in. That is crazy to even consider. My second property strategy that I think is going to make a lot of property investors a lot of money during these property recession time periods that we're going to see in the near future has to be LOAs, lease option agreements, guys. See, a LOA comes in 2 parts. The first part, the leasing part, is effectively where you manage a property, guys. So you rent it out and you take all the profits as you like. But in exchange of doing that, you agree with the property owner a monthly fee. Now, this monthly payment typically covers the mortgage bills and also pays the property owner a little profit just to keep them at bay. Now, the second part, the option agreement part, is much like the leasing part. So it's established towards the beginning, but it's more so executed at the end of the process, guys. This is where you have an option to pay for the property, not obligation, an option to pay for it. Now, I know a lot of you guys would be thinking, what property owner in their rightful mind would want to effectively sell their property in the future to a potential party who can end up rejecting paying for that property at the end of the day? That is all true, but what you need to think about is that not every property owner is in the same scenario. There are a lot of property owners out there that are so desperate to sell, guys. And one of the biggest reasons why a property owner will be desperate to sell is because they've gotten their property into negative equity, guys. I actually made a video on this topic explaining what negative equity is, along with how do you get yourself in negative equity, but more so importantly, what are the preventative measures and the ways that you can reduce, if not get rid of, negative equity on your property in general, guys. If you haven't checked out that video, then go check it out down in the description box below. I've left a link there for you guys to watch it. But in a nutshell, guys, negative equity is hugely related with the dips in markets. In particular, we're talking about recession, guys. Property recessions like the one that we're in. So you can probably guess it. As we get deeper into this property recession, we're going to have more property owners, unfortunately, in negative equity This is a great opportunity for a lot of property investors to get themselves a lot of lease option agreements throughout this period. My third and final property strategy to make full use of at times like these during a property recession has to be the commercial to residential property conversion. I recently walked on the streets of Leeds, guys, and I was just shocked with how many sale signs I saw on commercial properties. It was crazy. This isn't just an issue here in Leeds. It's everywhere across the world, guys. Coronavirus has taken its toll, people. But fortunately for us property investors, it's a great opportunity for us to make something positive out of a negative scenario. With the current relaxed planning laws, the tax relief and the shortage of housing to people, there are now more than ever lower barriers of entry to get into this form of property investing as there have ever been, guys. Getting planning permission has never been as easy as it is now for this sort of property developing. So make full use of it because it's one of the most profitable types of property investing. However, what I will say though is that this is advanced level of property investing. So if you look to just get started in property investing, then maybe this is something that you work towards rather than starting with, because you seriously need to know what you're doing here. One thing that I must say though is that there are other honorable mentions that could have made my list another day, but I really strongly feel that these 3 property strategies are going to make a lot of property owners a lot of money. The question then becomes, what are you guys going to do knowing what you know now? If you do feel like there are other property strategies to include, then let me know in the comment box below and we can talk about it. But that's all I've got to say, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, then please let YouTube know about it, guys. Tell them about how good these videos are. Do that by liking it, by sharing it, and subscribing with the notification bell on too. It's your favorite YouTuber, guys. DS Learn Finance, financially educating you guys to freedom for the beginners by Former Beginner every Sunday at 3 p.m. Bye, guys. DS Learning Finance.
Whoa.